Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of, you guessed it, The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you today. Got a topic we're going to talk about, and we're going to jump into this topic and give everybody an opportunity to give their feedback on it. This is something that might be a little choppy today. So I want to get you all's feedback on it and tell me what you all actually think about what we're going to talk about today. There was another shooting yesterday. There was another mass shooting yesterday at in San Juan. I think it was San Juan. No, San Jose. I'm talking about San Juan. It's Puerto Rico. In San Jose, California. As it stands right now, uh, at last report, there was 9 people that lost their lives. One being the shooter, I guess. But when will this thing stop? It's like every week, every other week, in different cities throughout the United States of America, there's another mass shooting. There's another person that actually go. This guy here, he actually used to work at the place where the shooting take place. He actually was a ex-employee, and the story is starting to surface right now as to what happened, how it happened. But he was an ex-employee, and don't know. Again, the story is still unfolding as we speak. But from what I gather, he lost his job and went back in there with the sole intent, with the sole intention of shooting and killing people. And he went in and he opened fire, shooting down innocent people. That and see what happened. What people don't understand is the impact that have on people, because not only are you shooting the individual that you're targeting, you're also in some kind of way you're affecting, in some kind of way you're affecting um innocent lives. You're affecting innocent lives because as you're shooting these people and you're shooting them down, you're mauling them down. They still have family members. They still have loved ones. There's still people that need these people to come home. What impact did you and then not only that, you turned the weapon on yourself and you shot and killed yourself. I need y'all, somebody give me a call. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. What are we going to do about all these killings? What are we going to do? How do we continuously have to keep it's almost like if you have a wound and it heals and it gets to the point of healing, and then somebody come along and just snatch the scab off of it. Now it's opened right back up. Now you got to go through that healing process all over again. And then when it gets a scab on it and it's almost healed, somebody come along and just rip the scab. Imagine the pain that causes when they rip this. The scab is something that the body goes through in its healing process. And you know how it does. It gets real hard and changes colors and stuff like that because it's getting through the ending process, through the ending phases of it. And then somebody come along and they put their hand on it and it just ripped that scab off. Mm. Now you got to deal with that pain all over again. That's what it's like to me. That's what it's like to me, man. When stuff like this happens and continuously happen. That's what it's like to me, man. It's like the wound is trying to heal. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's trying to heal, but somebody come along and they rip that scab off. Now you having to deal with that wound all over again. From almost like from day one, like it just happened. Now you got this murder, you got this mass killing, you got this shooting here, you got the shooting over there, you got 10 people die here, 9 down over there, 18 down over there, 27 over there, 4 over there, 3 over there. Pulling the scalp off, man. How do we heal? How do we get to a place of healing when it continuously happens over and over and over again? How do we get there? Somebody give me a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give me a call and help me understand how do we get to the healing process? How do we get to that place of healing? And I'm talking about there was another mass shooting. Nine people in San Jose, California, just yesterday lost their lives because somebody lost their job, went back into the place with their weapon, and just opened up and started shooting innocent people down. Even if they cause you to lose your job, say if they cause you to lose your job, should that cost them their life? Should you go there and shoot them down? Get another job. But don't go out there and killing innocent people. Don't go there and kill. Some of the people that you killed probably was innocent, had nothing to do with nothing of what you got going on. Nothing at all. But what you do, you go in there, you shoot down 8 people, you shoot them down and kill. You probably shot more than 8, but I'm saying 8 has died. Got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Tucson.
Good
morning.
Good.
I don't even know where I'm at, man.
Hey, you're in a good place, brother. You're in a good place, man. I definitely appreciate you calling in this morning, man. I'm talking about, that there was another mass shooting yesterday.
No, I didn't know that. I heard somebody mention it this morning, but I kind of don't listen. I'm sorry, but I don't listen. Always something.
Man, and see, that's the thing. I'm talking about, Donald. How do we get to a place of healing when every time you start to heal and you get that scalp and the scalp is on there? And it's about when you get that scalp on there, man, it's about to heal. It's going through that process. The scalp is hard and it's healing. And then somebody come along, they rip the scalp off, rip the entire scalp off, man. You know the amount of pain that will cause when they rip that scalp off, man. Oh my God, that hurts.
Yeah. But some people don't want it to heal. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But there are some people that don't want healing.
Yeah.
They don't want unity, no peace that you can possibly get. All they want to do is time it calm down, they create drama. You ever met somebody that likes drama?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No matter what, all they have to do is show up, and there it goes.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with people. That there are people lurking out there that they see kind of people kind of coming together. Even for instance, if you have a protest, there are people come out there with their own agenda and start something that don't have nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
And before you know it, they have a riot out there. But I didn't know where was the shooting this time.
What nine people lost their lives, man. One of them, they said one of them is the shooter that actually committed suicide and killed himself. But nine people have died, but it was in San Jose, California. And what it is, they say the guy lost his job. They say he lost his job and went back into the plant and just started shooting people, man. Just started shooting people.
Man, I would have given him my job.
Yeah, exactly.
You take mine. There are some things that people. I think Rico was talking about yesterday, or somebody was mentioning that this is the I don't know if you call it monopoly or the drive for finances. And some people want to get. It's all about money.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it don't have a dollar sign behind it, nobody's
Hmm.
interested.
Yep. Exactly.
And so, I mean, I know some people that their mentality, even in a job, you try to kind of say, oh, that person right there it has the potential
Hmm.
to do go postal, and nobody says anything till it happens.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that's a sad situation. I don't know, man. Some things are not worth it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just hate to see. I just hate to see a person go through something and nobody see it. Or rather, if somebody sees it, they don't say anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because there
Exactly.
was, I'm pretty sure there were warning signs,
Hmm. And they know,
but we miss it every time.
and they knew they was gonna fire that man, so they should have had something in place. If he displayed something like that, some kind of cray, they should have had something in place, man.
Yeah.
Because now you got 8 people that's lost their lives, and they don't tell them how many people he actually shot, but 8 people has lost their lives. 8 died,
hmm
and don't tell them how many he shot. And so,
There was a guy. There was a guy right here. He came. He wanted to be transferred, and they would taunt him. Cool guy, calm, low key voice. Didn't cause any drama on the job.
mhm,
But there was a little tension in the department. So he requested to be placed in another department or moved. They wouldn't let him.
mhm,
They just taught him and mess with him all the time, give him a sorry job. And he came in one day and he told the manager, he said, I need to talk to y'all. They said, no, not right now. And he just had a good aim because he came in with the intentions. So he was just tired.
yeah,
Good family. I'm talking about a person with a good family, wife, children, and they was just put him to the side, and he pulled out a gun and he just started shooting. The
wow,
only thing that he did was he shot at who he was aiming at,
mhm, mm.
and calmly turned himself in. He done what he had to do, and he was done.
Anybody
But there are warning signs.
anybody lost their life?
One of them,
Mm,
yeah, and the other one wounded him pretty good. And one of the other things, the guy that survived came back in to work with the same attitude.
wow, ain't learned nothing from it. What?
Same, ain't learned nothing. Thought he was invincible then.
Mm,
Handicapped. I mean, he definitely handicapped, but he's still stuck on stupid.
mm. And see what you got to understand
That,
is and with attitude like that, being handicapped with the whole situation, another person lost their life, he survived, and so he should learn something from that, man. Because you know,
uh,
next time it could be different. Next time it could be a little
yeah,
more ugly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at a guy, take the guy, and he's definitely he lost his life. He took himself out, or whoever took him out.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is, somebody did him something
Yep. Yep.
and that's just me because I see it over and over again. The people that think they got power in our job
Mm-hmm.
workforce,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk to people any kind of way, say whatever they feel like they want to say, and because they somebody's nephew or cousin or uncle that's in upper, management
Management.
or
Yeah.
own the company,
Uh-huh.
they drive people to act a certain way. But the thing
Mm.
about it is, they don't take everybody out.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
And see,
yeah, man, that's a sad thing.
that's a sad. It's sad, man. And like I say, man, it's really like someone is actually getting in a situation where it's they healing, and then somebody come along and just put their hand on that scab and rip it off,
Mm-hmm.
and rip that scab
Yeah,
off, open it all over again. Now I got to go through the whole process of healing all over again, the pain and everything, man.
right.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. It's something about how when you have a scab on something, it's deep in your skin. It's deep in your skin, man.
Mm-hmm.
And to have somebody come along, don't just visualize that for a minute. They come along, put their hand on
Yeah,
that
I'm trying to,
and put
but
their
it
hand
kind of hurts.
and man, that's pain, brother.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Because some of the live tissue, skin tissue around the scab
Yep.
is actually trying to heal. It's trying to
Exactly.
heal.
Yeah. 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 And the
So
and
you actually are pulling on it.
mm-hmm. Mm. And that's
And
what it,
that's the way our society is.
yeah, exactly. And that's exact and 678-381-1973. Give us a call, 678-381-1973. There was another mass shooting. There was another mass shooting. A lot of people got killed. Right now, I just looked at it, it's 9 people that has gotten killed. And they've lost their lives, man. They've lost their lives. Look, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Dr. Cook. I can only be on the line for about 10 minutes.
Hey, Dr. Cook, how you doing
Yeah.
this morning?
Well,
Dr. Cook, we're talking about there was another mass shooting, and thank you for calling. We definitely appreciate you. There was another mass shooting yesterday in San Jose, California. 9 people has lost their lives, to include the shooter. So what are we to do, man? How do and I equate it to something healing, and then you get to a point where there's a scab on it. It's healing to the point there's a scab, and then somebody come along and just rip that scab off, man. Open it up all over again. That's what I equate the mass killings to, man. Because every time we get to the point where we almost healing, it happens again. So, Dr. Cook, what's on your heart?
from my understanding, the shooting was from a union meeting. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah, he lost his position.
Right. And when I look at that, a lot of people, managers, I don't think they realize the extent. I'm saying I was never promoted to a manager because they know I would treat people fair and equitable.
Mm-hmm.
Some managers do not look at it that way. They look at it as having its power over a person's life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do like to sit down and talk to people. I don't. Some other managers don't. They just basically just follow completely by the rules because they can or they have the power to. But I think people need to stop and look. If I was in that position, I'm not sure what the person did, but when you look at it from a standpoint of I got to feed my family, I got to have somewhere for my family to stay, you got to eat. We need to look at it from that standpoint sometimes because you don't know people's mental status, and some people don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You have to take a lot of factors, and you got to look at these factors. And a lot of people react because they panic.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the gas thing, all people all over the world panicking.
Mm-hmm.
And this person probably panicked. And I think it could have been prevented if people communicate with one another. We've lost that communication
Yes.
with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a huge piece that we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to care as supervisors, managers, we have to care about people.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone losing their job, that's going to affect them immensely.
Yeah. Exactly. Susan, what do you say to that?
Yeah. Just the other day, now corporations want you to do more with less. It really don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at our capacity now. So the other day, I said we got to I called it a take 6. Let's take us a take 6, and they call it take 5. Everybody was sitting there, what's going on? I said, just sit down and let's just sit here. We're not gonna do anything. y'all want to talk about something, we can do that. But let's just sit down, turn the fan on, and let's just sit.
Mm-hmm.
Cause man, something going on. They didn't really get it. One of them, the work leader, said, I've been here 5 years. We ain't never did nothing like this.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but we're running around here like chickens with our head cut off.
Yep.
Everybody wants something right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just not do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's healthy because a lot of places, businesses like to do is see it done, no matter what the cost.
Mm-hmm.
All they worrying about is making money.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the books, this costs this costs that.
Yeah.
If I do this is what's going to happen. You're costing the company money about this. But these are people that, like Doctor said, that have families, that have kids,
absolutely.
that have situations in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, this guy here that I was reading it just now, they said when he was happy, he was a great guy. But when he wasn't, he was just mad.
Mm-hmm. I held you.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a personality there. You kind of like wonder about it. You know, I look at a few guys, and you know, especially they said something about his ex-wife and stuff like that. People go through life.
Yeah.
Will get you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't realize the people that you work to the left and to the right with, no matter what your position is, if you don't realize that, hey, they might be having a bad day, might not be that day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For you to talk crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And really, there are rules, I can call them, at the law, at the job, that you really can't talk to people any kind of way. But people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say what you want to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there are things set in place on most of the jobs that are against that.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is time you raise your voice, hold up. Let me talk to who you work for. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not having the right conversation. Sometimes people call on the phone or and Doc, you know this, they call or they send the email and they have all capital letters.
Mm-hmm.
I say, I never did like big words.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I put in the comment. So I'm saying to them, calm your tone down, even in your message, because capital letters seem like they represent you're yelling, and we can't have that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's exactly right.
Go ahead, Doctor.
I'll just agree with what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But see, have we become, Dr. Scott, have we become numb or becoming numb to all these things that's happening in our society? Is it a process of making us numb to it? Where we could just, it's almost like we could just get to a point where we just step over dead bodies like it's nothing.
Some people are. Some people basically just look at it as we're overpopulated.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening. A lot of people don't care,
mm-hmm.
but people care when it affects them.
Yeah.
Right now, some people don't care because it doesn't affect them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for all the families, the children, the co-workers,
mm-hmm.
Because when I worked with the federal prison, there was something that happened to that effect. We had a young man who was, which he should have been doing. He was having inappropriate behaviors with the offenders,
mm-hmm.
and so when he was basically pushed into a corner, he already had in the back of his mind that he was going to bring his weapon on the federal grounds.
Mm.
And so the U.S. Marshals came there to pick him up. And so when he was pushed to a corner, he killed some of the staff, and he also
Wow.
killed one of the U.S. Marshals.
Mm.
So um, a lot of that could have been prevented. Some tactics need to be done differently. If you're going to arrest a person, um, let them. Basically, when they came to talk to him, they basically should have told him, "You're going to face time." So it wouldn't have been in front of his coworkers and his workers. And so that day, at least 5 people were killed. So when people pushed him to a corner,
Yeah.
things like that happen, and we need that communication piece. It's very, very important. And he knew he did wrong, and so that should have been communicated during that time. And I think with the gentleman that was killed, the people in San Jose, I think that they should have communicated with him, giving him some help.
Yep.
When you give people when you put them in a corner, they could react. So it's a natural thing. That's my take on it. I'm getting ready to have my students are getting ready to come in. So when I saw the topic, I just had to come in to basically hear exactly what's going on.
Absolutely, and I definitely appreciate you, sister. You're more than welcome. Anytime you want to come in, you're more than welcome. We definitely I love having you a part of what we're doing here. So you're always welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Everyone have a blessed day.
You do the same. Tucson, where's the compassion? Where's the compassion, Tucson?
That's a rare commodity. Because we have a society, me, my, and I. What can I get out of it? What's in it for me? I mean, I quit a job one time because my parents were sick. They wanted to give me a 6-month leave. I quit. I left there for 6 years. And when I came back, I saw the manager in Walmart. I said, "Man, I'm trying to get back in there." And he says, "Come on, see me." So never leave a place that you can't come back to.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you got to leave right. So I went and got my stuff together, and I got hired back in. They gave me, now I had quit, right? For 6 years. They gave me the same badge number.
Wow.
Ain't that something?
They kept that for you.
They asked, "What's your name?" I said 61487. I'll never forget the badge number. Because that's how they identified me.
61487.
Even after, yes, sir. After leaving for 6 years, that's who I still am to them. And unfortunately, on jobs, they on your little page, that's where they put your little badge number, and that's who they identify you are. They don't know that that's a husband, or wife, or somebody's dad, or son or daughter. It's just a number. It's just somebody that costing me money to have them work here. That's how they feel. That's how people. That's how, especially big corporations. You see, I don't know what do you know what type of workplace it was?
I think I pulled it up earlier. I think it was something like a plant. Let me pull it back up again. Take a look at it.
Okay.
I'm thinking something like
hustle and bustle.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Make it happen. Whatever you got to do to get it done. Get it. How do you used to say that? Get her done.
Get her done. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get her done. I don't work like that. That's crazy. But that's how we treat folks.
They say
don't worry about, hey, how you doing today? Go ahead.
They say it was a transit location.
Transit.
Yeah.
Okay. Transporting people.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it straight. But either way, we don't treat people like people no more. We treat people like objects.
Yep. Exactly.
Nobody cares. So, I don't know. That's just sad.
And that's
somebody got to.
And
Get
that
to
was my
that point.
point right there, Donald. There's no compassion for people, man. Human life means nothing. We talked about
Mm.
the video games and how people think for whatever reason the video game when it ends, you hit that reset button, man, and you're right back up and going. That's not life, man.
No, but
That's not life at all.
no. Man, I think I said it that I went to somebody's house and they had a bunch of children because it was a child's birthday party, and we went and they was playing Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Oh my God!" Unfortunately, I sat down there and I was watching, and I said, "Did she just kick his chest out?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But 10 seconds later, you know what? He was up fighting again.
Up fighting again like nothing happened. And
Yeah.
that's what a deprogramming come for the children, because they look at this, man. Um, I was picking up somebody the other day on TikTok, and I see I had this little skit. You probably seen it, where it talk about my grandson came to wanted some candy. I said, well, man, I can't get you no candy today, man. I'm broke. I'm broke. And he went downstairs and got my tools, brought them back up there. I said, man, what you doing with all my tools? What you gonna do with my tools? Why you do that? He said, I came back up here to fix you because you said you was broke. See, that's something like that. That's what kids hear when they say you broke. They can't connect the dots. And when this get on this game, they're playing this game, and this person fall dead and get back up and hit the reset button, and they get back up and they playing some more. How do you tell them that what's live and what's Memorex? How do you explain it to them? Because they seeing that they playing this game. This person fall. This person is dead, and now they get back up. Hit the reset button and get back up. That's not life, Donald. It don't work like that.
No, but I get it. I would say that that's what we implanting in their mind.
Exactly. Hey, keep it going for a second, Donald. I'm gonna walk across the room and give me
Yeah.
a water real quick.
So yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out where do we go from here. We look at this situation and we have this person that just decides that he's gonna go back into the job and just start shooting. And I don't know. And sometimes you look at it and you say, well, was he aiming at certain people? Evidently, I don't know. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, look at how many families. Okay, you got 8 people and him. So you possibly got a 8 husband or wives,
Yep.
some children,
Mm-hmm.
fathers and mothers that are missing their family right now. They're suffering.
Mm-hmm.
They're hurt.
Exactly.
They're confused. Co-workers that have seen this happen, they in the same predicament.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're going to have counselors coming in and talk to people. And here's the thing about it is when these things happen in corporate world, what they do is they have a training session,
Mm-hmm.
not a prevention session. They're going to train on what already happened.
Mm.
And I'm going to tell you what I think, why they do that, so they won't get sued.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not to care for the families. They're going to put some things in place. They're going to have a sit down with all the workers at a certain time, and they say, let's talk about what already happened.
Mm-hmm.
But look at all the people that are affected by it.
Yep.
It's backwards.
For a long
we
time.
We need to be doing something on everybody's job. They, on a daily basis, when a person comes in, look at their demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
See if individually, I know it's kind of hard, but you got managers, you got supervisors, you got work leaders, you got people in place, but somebody got to care.
Yep.
Because somebody right now is thinking about going slap off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you don't even know if that's why I try not to mistreat. I don't care how a person is. I don't overlook people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't try to talk down to people. Talk like I'm the big I and they the little you.
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
They had one guy. he would Raheem he was kind of like a shy person, and he didn't want nobody to even see him eat. He'd eat in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what kind of thinking you think that is? And I
Mm-hmm.
saw him go off one day. I said, "Oh Lord!" And I always tried to, say, "Hey, if anything go down, me and you friends."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm joking, though. I'm just saying, me and you be tight, because he never could fool with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of like this guy. When he was happy, he was a happy, good guy. But
Mm-hmm.
if you upset him, he had another fella come up to work. It
Wow.
was like, oh, now we're talking to the other guy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Donald was
the one that you don't want to see.
so Donald, what you did, you set the foundation, man. You know we friends, right? Now,
Man,
look at you know me and you
we
friends.
tight. If
Exactly.
you ever need anything, you can talk to me. I remember when I was the union in the union, they called me up, and he had something going on, and the manager called his brother, but he didn't know that him and his brother didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
So the manager was working upstairs. He got in early that morning, and here the guy shows up. He locked the door and called security
Good Lord.
on the guy.
Yeah. Because he knew something was going on.
So they called me up, and the guy was, they got people on everybody's job. That's kind of strange.
Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of strange. But you
Mm-hmm.
can't mistreat them because they act strange.
Yeah.
You hired them.
Mm-hmm.
You got to treat them like people.
Yeah.
So this guy, they called me up, and he wasn't washing his hands. And I came in, and they hadn't made a complaint about it. I said, and I called his name. I said, "Hey man, I need to talk to you." Oh, truth, you can talk to me about anything. I said,
Mm.
"Okay, well, come on, we need to." I said, they called me. I said, they say, and here's how I said it. They say you're not washing your hands.
Mm.
Oh man, I don't be thinking. I said, man, let's go to the bathroom right now. Let's go get you something. Let's go get our hands all cleaned up right now. I went in there and I washed my hands and we everything and just talked to him a little while, and you got to develop a
Yeah.
conversation with
Yeah.
people to see where they are,
Exactly. Exactly.
not just so they won't bust a cap in you,
Mm-hmm.
but just to let them know that they're people too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what the main thing. Somebody got to care.
And see the thing
We
about it.
got to stop treating people as this. Go
Go,
ahead.
no, 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 no. Go ahead. You go on somewhere, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying we just got to start treating. We got to treat everybody like this. I don't care if a person is sleeping under the bridge. They are somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and just as Raheem, that there are people that work every day that are homeless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ain't that so?
Yeah.
So imagine what they going through.
Mm-hmm. Having to get up and go in their workplace knowing at the end of the day they have no place to call home, no place to go and lay their head.
No,
Wow. Wow.
no.
Mm-hmm. Badger.
Divorce
Mm-hmm.
and everything else going on in their life.
Exactly. Exactly. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Beautiful and blessed day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking about. Did you hear about the shooting that happened yesterday in San Jose?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, man. Another mass shooting. Badger. 9 people, to include the shooter, lost their lives yesterday, and others was injured,
Which
but
state
not
did it
nine.
happen in?
California, San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
they're San Jose.
Hmm.
That's the other state's copy name, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't
Absolutely.
too sure.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. In San Jose over there, man, and 9 people dead this morning because it happened at a place, a transit facility. Till the guy lost his job and came back, man. I got a clip. I don't know how long this clip is. I'm gonna play a little bit of it real quickly. Give everybody an idea. Now, this is certainly not our topic for today, but this is something we had to talk about, man, because this is happening too often. But let me play some of this clip. I hope it don't have the advertising before it, and it does. Let me get past it. I'm gonna mute it while the little advertising go on. But yeah, say the guy lost his job and came back and wanted this. Here we go.
An early morning massacre. We have 8 victims that are pronounced deceased from today's incident from gunshot wounds. We also have one suspect who is deceased as well.
Shots rang out around 6:30 a.m. at this sprawling San Jose maintenance yard where commuter rail vehicles were being dispatched in service for the workday. A law enforcement source tells CNN the lone suspect, identified as Sam Cassidy, was an employee.
He was seen at that location working before the shooting. It's clear the victims and all the colleagues there knew the shooter well.
According to the sheriff, Cassidy continued shooting even as police arrived.
I know for sure that when the suspect knew the law enforcement was there, he took his own life. Our deputies were right there at that time.
The sheriff's office says more deadly plans were potentially laid out in advance.
We received information that there are explosive devices that are located inside the building.
Multiple law enforcement agencies, including the bomb squad, are on the scene, beginning what is likely to be a lengthy and extensive investigation.
We're so sorry this event happened. We are there for you.
The head of the Valley Transportation Authority, emotional as he tried to comfort the surviving staff.
VTA is a family. People in the organization know everyone. This is a terrible tragedy.
Just 8 miles away, a neighbor took this video of the suspect's home, billowing with smoke in a suspicious blaze. Firefighters responded to the scene at 6:36 a.m., just 2 minutes after the first calls from the shooting at the rail yard came in. Investigators are now on site at both locations, searching for answers, while California's governor has more questions of his own.
What the hell's going on in the United States of America? What the hell's wrong with us?
And Kate, at this hour, that grim task of processing this crime scene continues. Our colleague Wolf Blitzer spoke just a short time ago with the Santa Clara County Sheriff, who said that 6 of the 8 victims who were killed, their bodies are still behind me here, being processed by the coroner. We also understand that state and local law enforcement, as well as special agents from the ATF and the FBI, are at the shooter's house right now, processing that scene, trying to glean any evidence they can to try to get to the motive in just the latest mass shooting in the United States.
Wow. Just the latest mass shooting in the United States. What do you say to that, Badger? It's terrible, brother. Terrible.
I'm assuming it's probably something to do with some kind of mental. Because most of them, it boils down to a mental state. And it's I've been doing a lot of research on because I know some of you guys know I'm trying to leave the state of Texas.
Yeah.
To get so my kids can have a better future, pretty much. And I started reading laws in almost every state. Like I'll choose one. Like autism. There are states that has laws that literally say once a child is over the age of 6 or they're the age of 9, they don't cover certain therapies for it. You have to get like a co-insurance or something like that to go along with the state insurance. There's different areas and different situations and things like that. And then you add in all the stuff that's going on with us still being over there in Iraq. What is it? Iraq, Afghanistan right now?
Yeah, Afghanistan.
We're still over there doing fighting and whatnot. well, there's a huge war going on in America right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's it the mental state of America is, to me, is like a firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
And it's people are losing trust amongst one another. They're losing trust in the government. They're um, trying to deal and cope with being able to live day to day and be able to afford things. Some people are pretty good at it. Other people struggle due to whatever reason. So without knowing all of the details, it could be one of those things where he was one of those employees that everyone looked down on and stuff, or bullied, and he snapped.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could have been someone that had a mental condition that he just lost it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
there's so many variables of why someone does something like that.
And see, and I want everybody to know that none of what you said was said to try and justify what he did. That's not what we're doing.
Oh,
It's
absolutely not.
yeah,
What he did was not all right at
Mhm.
all.
Mhm. Exactly. And so I just wanted to put that out there because I didn't want anybody to come back and say, "Well, y'all over there trying to just." No, nobody's trying to justify anything. We're just trying to tell you what some of the possible reasoning is why he did it, not to justify it or say it's okay. No, we're not saying that. Hey, Toussaint, you still with us?
I want to say one thing real quick.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me that somebody knew that he was thinking about it and they did
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing that we've come across with these mass shootings, is
Mhm.
people knew that they were talking or saying something and they did nothing.
Yeah. And to me, they're just as guilty. To me, they're just as guilty because you had a hand in it. If you knew somebody was going to go over there and shoot and kill these people, and you said nothing and just allowed them to go ahead on and do it, man, you just to me, and I could be wrong, but to me, you just as guilty as they are. You're just as guilty or guiltier than the actual one that pulled the trigger because you could have stopped it. You could have stopped it. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. We love to hear from you. We hadn't got to our topic today. Actually, we're going to get to our topic in just a few minutes. But what we're doing right now, we're actually dealing with this situation that happened yesterday. Again, I say it, man. I can't say it enough. It's almost like having a cut and a wound, and it creates a scab, and the scab is there. And then as soon as it's almost to its healing point, somebody come along, grab that scab and pull that scab open and pull the scab off and reopen your wound. Now, can you imagine how much that would hurt when they pull the scab off, the pain that you go through? That's what it's like with these mass killings, man. Every day is like when you wake up to something else. Every day it's like you wake up thinking and expecting something else has happened while I slept last night. Badger, it's not a good place, man. It really isn't. And to have this stuff to continuously happen, Badger, it's just not good, man.
Yeah, no, I've had to, uh, like, looking at things in general, I've had to work really hard at trying to understand why what's why people don't try to intervene or report it.
Yep. Yep.
You know, or are they afraid to? For, like, what's the mentality behind not doing anything?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Because again, like I said, if somebody knew it and knew that he was gonna do this, and my thing is why did he set his house on fire? What is he trying to cover up in his house? Because he knew when he went to work, it's like he knew what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. So he rigged something up so his house was set on fire at a certain time. He thought it through, man. It's crazy. So Dario, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you all?
Hey, doing well, doing well. We asking the question. We're talking about actually. Did you hear about the mass shooting in San Jose yesterday, California?
No, I glanced at the article, but I didn't read it through, unfortunately.
Well,
That's exactly the time.
yeah, 9 people has lost their lives, to include the shooter. And I looked at a
Wow.
clip. I played a clip this morning, and they say how during the same time he was at work during the shooting, his house was on fire. Excuse me.
Right.
His house was on and so he said his house ablaze. And naturally, to cover up some of the stuff that he had in his house, so he's setting on fire, it's going to burn up the evidence.
Exactly.
And so he probably knew and planned this thing out. But to strategically plan this out, knowing you want to work to kill people, set your
Right.
house on fire, and then know that and the sheriff said it was a young lady that's the sheriff over there. She said that he shot himself right in front of the police officers because he knew he was going to be gone for the rest of his life. So he killed
Right.
himself.
He did kill himself. Wow. Okay.
So, Daria, my
Wow.
thing is, where are we, man? Where are we right now? How do we get over and get past all these mass shootings? I equated it to having a wound and the scalp healing, and then somebody come along and just snatch the scalp off. The amount of pain that you
Right.
feel when they snatch the scalp off, that hurts.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Just in hearing, all of the general probabilities and possibilities could be numerous, but we're living in a society, and I firmly believe this, where people are so impressionable by what they see and by
Hmm.
what they hear. So we're living in a society where it's okay to curse, it's okay to see, you know, homosexual people having sex on TV, men and women. It's okay to see women naked, and it's okay to see anything on television. It's okay to say anything on the radio. It's okay to have anything in our music. And so we're living in a society where these things are perpetuated daily, where people hear this stuff. The video games have so much murder and killing in them, and these people get tactical in the video games. Now, people can say, oh, they're just games, and then, people don't, take that seriously. But if a person is going through what you described, they have a wound, and somebody comes and snatches that scalp off, and we already know how much it burns and hurts
Hmm.
when something is trying to heal and someone takes the scab off before it's healed. We know that that's painful in the natural. So if you imagine that with someone's emotions, then they're dealing with pain that people can't see. And
Hmm.
then they have all these ideas. You can go on YouTube and learn how to do anything. You know,
Hmm.
this man obviously was going to kill himself regardless,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because ultimately that's what he did. He burned up anything that had to do with him so that nobody would really even know why it happened. So that was his plan. He wanted to kill some people, to resolve whatever hurt he had within himself, and then he no longer wanted to be here. So he
Hmm.
planned. I heard you guys saying that when I came in. He planned that whole thing out. Now,
Yep.
the only other part is if he had made any innuendos or statements to people around him that may
Hmm.
have known that he was struggling or suffering, like Badger was saying, why don't we help people like that? Why do we ignore signs? When we see signs in people, why do we ignore it? Why do we act like, just shrug it off? Because you never know in this society what the end result of those signs are going to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
And go ahead, Badger.
I want to add something real quick.
Hmm.
So apparently the news has already reached out to a couple of people.
Hmm.
Um, hold on, they reached out to his ex-wife,
Mm.
and she said he had two sides. They were married for 10 years, and she filed for a divorce in 2005. said that he was often angry at coworkers and about his assignments at work. The VTA was unfair with its work assignments, though she said she hasn't spoken with him in about more than a decade. In 2009, there was a
So he worked,
restraining order.
he worked there for a while then.
Hold on. In
Mhm.
2009, he was there was a restraining order while he was dating a woman after his divorce that accused him of rape and sexual assault, and said
Wow.
that he had severe mood swings and suffered from alcohol abuse. His neighbor, the one that caught the house on fire, videoed the house being on fire, said that he was like always very lonely. The neighbor never saw anyone come visit, and every time he would try to say hi to him, he wouldn't even speak to him.
Mm. Wow.
So
He's
to me, those are signs that there's something mental going on.
Those are very, very, very strong signs that there's something mental going on. Absolutely. And so Dario, what do you say to that? Knowing what Badger just said and the situations that he's going through, that he went through, those are telltale signs. Those are telltale signs. There's really something. There's really something. There was really something going on. I'm not gonna say is, but there was really something going on with him.
Exactly. And, in his wife knowing that there were mood swings. And see, I don't know. I don't think that our country makes provision to follow up. If someone requires a restraining order, then from that moment, in my mind, that person needs some kind of therapy or some kind of follow up to why another person would feel the need to put out a restraining order on that person. So, if we as a country, we have to do more follow up with situations like that. That wasn't just a restraining order that he got in an argument with someone and walked away. He was also accused of raping that person.
Yeah.
So in that case, that he should have at that point been mandated to take some type of therapy, and possibly and probably in that therapy they would have found out maybe he was bipolar, maybe he had some other schizophrenia. You never know, because that is has been on the rise for the last 15, 20 years with a lot of people in a certain generational group. We don't know why, but it has been, and we have to be realistic about that. The man clearly had a problem. And then, of course, I'm always going to go to in scripture. The word of God says it is not good for mankind to be alone. So if you deal with a person that is always by themselves, that is a telltale sign that something is wrong, because it is in our nature to want to be a part of something, if it's a marriage or a family, or even if we're like a social butterfly. But it's in our nature to commune with other people. God has given us that naturally. So when you find a person that isolates themselves completely, there's something that's wrong. And if people love or care about before anybody do anything, but we can be more involved in the lives of other people. But I don't know, in our country, we just don't care. We don't care enough about life and people. Yeah. So.
And that's because we're so caught up in making and chasing that bag. That is taking precedence over everything else. We want to chase that bag, want to obtain that bag at any cost. If it means that I have to take you out or do this to you to for me to get that bag and for me to make it, then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get mine. You just got to go out there and get yours. And so it's unfortunate that we've come. It's very unfortunate, Badger, that we've come to that place. The money is not that important.
Very. It's not. It's
Money is
not.
not.
And if people really understand what money is, money
Mm-hmm.
is a promissory note. It is a promise to pay. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
even have value. It
Yeah.
really does not. It's made to look like it has value because we use it and we barter with it. But the reality is money has no value. It's a promissory note. And if you
Mm-hmm.
own a home, you know what a promissory note is. It means that you're in debt to something
Yeah.
when
Exactly.
you have a promissory note. So money is actually a debt that we carry around. It's something that we use to create debt. And I don't think people look at it like that. As long as you have money, you're creating debt because you're
Yeah.
going to take it and you're going to spend it, or you're going to use it like a credit card. You know, we can go, oh, let me put $50 down on these wheels, and then I can go home with the wheels and still
Mhm.
look good, look like I got money, when all you're doing is placing yourself in debt. So,
Exactly.
you know, people, the again, scripture, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Not money itself, but
Mm-hmm.
loving it, loving what it does, loving
Because
what it
money
can
itself,
do.
because money itself has no power.
It has no power, none,
Absolutely.
not at
Leonard,
all.
Man,
huh?
I had to chime in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading some more news about this, and they're
Wow.
literally associating it with gun violence. Not a single thing that I'm seeing so far is targeting mental health, because apparently guns
Wow.
are, the main reason everyone is so violent.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an interesting take. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, good morning. Good morning. How you doing there, sir?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow fan.
Man, we hadn't got to our topic. We're going to get to our topic in a minute. But what we're talking about right now is that situation that happened. Are you familiar with what happened in San Jose yesterday with the mass killing?
I think I did hear it. I hear about it. I listened to the news last night.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Just very briefly.
Well, this guy, man, he used to work there at the places. It's a transit, much like Marta here. It's a transit situation going on over there in San Jose. Been working there for a while, and went in and shot up some people, killed nine people died because he killed himself as well. But and then set his house and he set his house on fire before he left home, and so that was an attempt, I think. And I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I certainly ain't the dullest. I think what he was doing, he was actually trying to cover up what was going on in his household, the evidence that he had there. Went to work, shot up people, killed 8, 9, counting himself, and probably wounded others. And Badger said a lot of times what they're doing, they're talking about the gun violence, but they're not talking about the mental illness that this fella may have been suffering with. What do you say to that?
Well, that's how they usually do. They're not going to mention nothing unless it's to the advantage of the story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, the story always got a little spin on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the shooting things and what have you is all motivated by one person, one individual's mental health issue.
You think that's the root of it?
Well, it just depends. I don't know why the guy did what he did. But he definitely didn't care about nobody else.
Exactly.
And because he took his own life after that.
So
that was a person that was,
Hold on,
in my opinion, that does have some mental issues. However, it's not going to be this save the day type of thing by a messiah of some type. Either people are going to start identifying these toxic relationships they have with people and understand that that's how this gets started. I'm pretty sure he wasn't just a great guy. Everybody loved him. He had a great job. Everything was going cool. And he just, you know what, I'll just go shoot nine. I'll just go kill some people like that.
It wasn't that kumbaya type situation. And Badger actually pulled up some stuff saying how, with his wife, he had a divorce from his wife. He had another girlfriend after that. And she alleged that he
Right.
sexually assaulted her and all kind of different things. He was like living like a hermit pretty much, and so it was a great situation for him to be in.
Right. Right. And
Mm.
people get themselves in these situations and they take it out on the public.
Mm. Wow. Wow.
I don't have any type of he should have killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, he should have killed himself before he killed all those people.
Yeah. If you're that miserable, take yourself out, but don't take nobody with you. And we're not telling. And again, we're not telling anybody to commit suicide. We know, man, people that have a tendency to want to twist things and stuff like that. Rico, you know how they do, brother. Rico, good morning. Hi, doing this.
Yeah, I don't care what they say.
Well, I do, and I don't want nobody
That's
thinking that.
this is what actually has happened.
Mm-hmm.
So if people try to change it into something else, it's for their own agenda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I do, Leonard. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? You heard about the situation, right?
Man, Grand Rising, everybody, man. I'm like you, man. I agree, but it's another way I would say that. You know, if you feel like you got to kill somebody, don't go out here and do it to everybody else. Just do it to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if possible, go get you some help. You know, you don't want to kill themselves. It's, you know, they're dangerous or something like that, or maybe had some maybe committed some horrendous act. But I would rather people get justice through the judicial system. I'd rather see the family have an opportunity to address this person, whoever has something against them. You know, but that just goes to show you how mental illness works. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we sometimes it's expressed and it's very obvious that somebody has it, and then sometimes, man, it's very slick. You know, I mean, I put it to you this way: we had a bout with mental illness on this show.
Yeah.
You know, let it be told. Right now, y'all should be referring to me as Ike Turner or O.J. Simpson. I'm a woman beater. I like white women. I don't like black women. Ain't that something? And I mean, it's a little bit of juice, a little bit of imaginary tale about all of us. But it was a mentally ill mamacita had that mental problem that came up with this scenario. And you know, I made a post a couple of years ago that went viral. It was a person with a big presence shared it, and it went crazy. And the post was, if I ask you a question and you tell me a lie, that's understandable. But to voluntarily come up and stick a lie in my ear that I didn't ask for, you got a mental problem. And a lot of people have these mental problems, man, and you don't know where they come from, but they create a scenario that can be dangerous for others. They like to take other people down because they get in a depressed state. Some get in a schizophrenic state. That's the reason why they turn into hermits. That's why they turn into hoarders. They don't want to let nothing go because they're afraid to lose something. They're afraid to throw things away. So, you know, mental illness, man, it has to be addressed. It needs to be addressed because in some form or fashion, everybody has some type of slight mental issue. Some of us call it ways we function. It might not be too dysfunctional, but at the same time, it still might not be too compassionate. You know, to me, that's somewhat of a mental illness when you don't have empathy for people.
Yeah.
You know, you have some people that truly don't care about nobody else. They don't have a problem killing people, destroying people, hurting people, as long as they can get ahead. You have some people that are that will get ahead by any means necessary. They'll blaspheme God. Just think about the preachers that go into church and infiltrate churches and lie, and there has to be a mental illness.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, this is something that has to be addressed because it can turn into a life or death situation. You see all the time where people bust on the subway, stabbing people because they have certain beliefs. But what made these people so extreme to where they wanted to see somebody die for it? But we are coming from a country that was built on mental illness. We come from a country that was built on the thought that somebody was more superior than others.
Absolutely. Badger, you wanted to say something a second ago?
Also, Raheem,
Yes.
come back to me before you leave the issue.
Okay. Badger, you wanted to say something, Badger?
You know, and then that's the thing, like with this guy, you know, if he has a record of having anger problems and things like that. You know, and if he was talking to his ex-wife about problems he was having at work, what could she have done?
Probably. And there's no absolute answer to this. I'm not the smartest. Like I said, I'm not the smartest knife. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm certainly not the dullest either. I think what she may have done is went to one of the supervisors. Look at here, you know, he's really, he got some issues, a few issues going on. He's not real stable at this particular moment because of this and this and this. Y'all might want to keep an eye on that just to make sure everybody is safe. Now, am I saying that he's gonna do anything to anybody? No, I'm not saying that. But I just want to put it out there so you all know that there's a possibility because he's doing a lot of complaining about things that's going on in the workplace, and that seemed to be the root of what's going on with him right now. And leave it right there. But only thing about that could backfire. That could very well backfire, So you have to be real careful. You have to be real careful in how you deal with it. Leonard, you wanted to say something?
Yes, and we're gonna be. Is the doctor on the line today?
She was on earlier. She had to get off. She's actually at school teaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She
Okay, because I don't.
Mhm.
No, I'm not going to say every one of these terrorists are mentally ill people.
Mhm.
So for whatever reason he did this, unless he was diagnosed and had these issues or whatever, we're not going to just throw around mental illness.
Mhm.
Because every time somebody kills somebody, don't mean they're mentally ill.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a guy that wanted to wreak terror and havoc on the public.
Mhm.
Everyone that does this should be treated as a terrorist.
Mhm. But Leonard, we, for whatever reason, and I want to be real careful when the way I say this. The Muhammad guy, when he was walking around in his trunk shooting people, him and the other young guy was shooting people from his trunk. They call them terrorists.
Exactly.
But see, if you don't look like him, sometimes they have a different name for it. They don't call them terrorists. They call it people with issues.
Yeah, so we need to be careful about what we're saying. He was a murdering terrorist, is what he was. That's what he was. That's what he did.
Yeah.
So whether he was mentally ill or not, that is what he did. That's what he chose to do. He willfully chose to engage in this behavior.
Now, how strategic was it that he set it up so his house was set on fire pretty much during the same time that he knew he was going to be doing the shootings at work? Was that strategic? Or is that somebody that has mental issue, or that somebody that actually thought it through?
That's a destructive person that wants to cause as much pain to people as he could. That's what that person is.
Wow. So, Daria, what's on your heart?
Even in hearing, what the gentlemen are saying, a terrorist, to me, this is to me and to my understanding of mental illness, a terrorist is mentally ill. They've just been given a different title depending on where they come from and what they look like, as you said. But for anyone who takes on the mindset that their worth is greater than someone else's, that's mental illness. Even in, we can take it back to slavery. That was mental illness. And then it's taught to other people as a natural way of thinking. But whoever came up with this idea that someone was better than someone else, that's a mentally disturbed mindset. So, whether you add terrorist to the label or whether you don't, people who sit around and try to figure out how to destroy other people, there is something in their thinking that is not conducive to what we call, quote unquote, normalized. I didn't say normal because I don't think anybody is normal. I don't even think we know what normal is.
Yeah.
But we can say that some people are more excessive than others in their thinking, and they're off of the Richter scale when it comes to the word normal. But in my teaching, because I do study and I do counsel, that those attributes for the 10 years from his divorce to this incident, his attributes show that there was some type of mental dysfunction going on with him. So over the period of years, if it was something that could be treated, it was not. The other thing is, when we as individuals observe character flaws in other people that seem harmful, not only to other people, but to themselves, we can't just suggest that they go have counseling and expect them to go, because they don't see themselves as something being wrong with them. One of the ways that we have to suggest it is to suggest that we'll go with them. We're willing to walk with them through the journey to strive to help them to resolve these differences. It's a way to approach people to get people to want to go and get help. But a lot of times, out of fear, we just say, man, there's something wrong with you. You need to go get some counseling. You need some help.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if they don't think so, they're not going, first of all. And secondly, a lot of times it's fear. Maybe they do know that something's wrong, but they're afraid to find out what is wrong. So we have to hold that person's hand and walk with them and say, I care enough to go with you. Let us go and get some help. So when you asked the question about his wife, that was one of the things that she could have probably done. We weren't living in the situation. He may have been violent if she suggested that. So maybe she was operating in fear. So there are so many variables we don't know. But my take of a terrorist, they have a mental problem to be a terrorist, to be okay with killing other people. So that's just my take on it.
Okay. And this mental thing in regards to killing goes it goes so deep. And I'm gonna go to Donald Toussaint, because is it normal? I love the fish. Is it normal for me to take a hook and throw it out in the water and catch that fish, knowing that I'm 9 times out of 10 the fish is gonna die? I'm gonna take him and put him in the freezer and it's gonna die anyway? Or is it normal for a person to point a weapon at a deer or a different animal like that and just pull the trigger? Is that normal just to kill like that? There's so many different layers to this thing. Is that more normal than pointing a gun at a human being and killing a human being? It's just so much tied up into this thing. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
I guess that's about the value of life now. I mean, we don't value it. Nobody really does. I mean, that's just me. Just saying it. Because you see a person, you can't tell a person, they say, well, I'm going to just do something. And man, you ain't going to do that. Oh, yes, it will. So we kick that can down the road and think nothing's going to happen. There was warning signs, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And you might have to look through your workforce. I know I'm looking through mine. I got some guys that I tried to, not out of fear, out of concern, for a tight workforce that will operate and function, and then they can still go home like they came here. At least have some people on the job. Because most of the time, most people have people on the job and not at home. They come raising. If you see a person that is possibly a bully, or not, he always aggressive on the job or something like that, he got issues at home. Because he probably be run over. Because sometimes we live in a society that children, and that's the parents' fault, they don't leave home. They may go to another residence, but they still under the parents' care, and they 45. And so all that's going on because they don't know how to manage their own household. So the parent is still taking care of them and the grandchildren. That can be stressful. But here you are, just because you are the senior person on the job, you think you can go out there and talk to anybody. I'm finna go straighten this out. You're gonna have some problems down the road.
Exactly.
Because you don't know how to treat people. But what I'm saying is, the value of life has diminished.
Yes.
We don't care. People don't care like they used to. And I heard something. Maybe y'all didn't hear, but I heard something from a man in a high position. He said, "I can go out and shoot somebody and never lose a vote."
Exactly. Exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man. I agree with pretty much everything everybody's saying. I mean, there's levels to mental illness. Everybody thinks that you can just categorize something and then that label sticks. But then as you live life and you experience things, you start seeing variables and other factors and other ways of methods that things are done. And you be like, okay, wait a minute, how do we classify this? But first, I want to address what Badger said, because Badger he made a good point. And to his point, I think he's saying that if she had gone to tell somebody, what would they have done? See, it makes sense, because if you go back to 9/11, you had people that went to the government that actually worked in the FBI that said, hey, man, something ain't right. These guys out here trying to learn how to fly planes, but they don't want to learn how to land. And the FBI investigated, and then they said, well, no big deal. Let them go. So, if the wife was to come to the job, 9 times out of 10, if people at that job are disrespecting that man or putting that man in a position where he's feeling like he has animosity, they are underestimating him. Because if you respect somebody, if you have a fear that they may come and knock your head off, guess what you ain't gonna do?
Wow, that's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Not a whole lot about that issue, because it's the details and things like that. But you know how this plays out. Now it becomes a TV show. Now everybody express this, that, and the other, and they move on and don't do nothing different. There are certain things that you just have to realize in a society such as ours. You have a lot of people that all have different issues. And I'm so careful not to say about this being a mental health issue and things of that nature, because you're not going to say that about certain people based on your bias.
Yeah.
See, this notion that, trust me, the killing is not the biggest issue. For the very simple fact, people been killing people. People killing people, somebody being killed right now.
So Leonard, am I heard you say that okay, am I hearing you say that it was not a mental issue, or you don't think, or you wouldn't categorize it?
No, I'm not saying there are not enough details to determine whether or not it was a mental health issue or not.
Okay.
Just because there's certain things, he was having a bad day, or what have you. So that doesn't mean he has a mental issue. Just because someone kills someone doesn't mean they have a mental issue. There's just people who are murderers.
Yeah.
They're evil murderers. That's what they are. So It's not as if everybody because we're not going to give people a pass. You got to remember, we have a whole branch of government that practice the art of killing people. We have a whole branch of government that does that.
And that's amazing. And that's amazing you say that, because you're absolutely right, man. The military train you and set you up for murder, for killing people. That's what you do.
Exactly. So we're not gonna act like this couldn't have just been a person disgruntled that thought he had the right to kill people.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart?
So I don't have no feelings for those types of people, and we should be very careful and separate those from people who have actual mental illness, because they have a pattern of behavior. It's documented. A lot of these people should be on medication. Remember, they've never seen a doctor. How many people in certain African American communities that have done certain things have never seen a doctor? But you just call them. You don't say that they're mentally ill, do you?
No.
No, you don't. You don't say that they're mentally ill.
Did they categorize Muhammad as being mentally ill?
No, I don't know what they categorized him as.
No, I'm talking about the guy who was in the shooting after Trump.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, if I knew, I would say so.
Yeah,
but I
absolutely.
don't.
Okay.
So there are a lot of people who have mental illness and all types of things, but they're dealing with mental illness. They have signs of mental illness. It's not brand new. It just didn't start when this event happened. And then then what happens is you have certain people that take this label and go so they don't have to stand certain trials. So they get a pass. So you call them mentally ill, or you make up some type of mental disorder for them.
Exactly. Badger, you was about to say something?
You know, to a degree, I get where he's coming from. It goes to me, people that are purposely just wanting to go out, and do a mass shooting like that. Could there be things that can be looked at as a mental illness? Very possible. There is a difference between diagnosed and undiagnosed. I mean, some of them could end up diagnosed. Other people, they're probably doing it to fit into a gang, or someone could be paying them to do it, or there's so many variables that I don't feel that we can loop it all under one banner, one term for every situation or every time it happens.
Absolutely. And I told you with a T, I missed your call. Sis, call back in. Since I missed your call, I apologize to you for that. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, how much did y'all get before I got cut off?
Yeah.
Did I get to the 9/11 and the FBI?
No.
Okay, what I was saying, I was going back to what Badger said about what the man's wife could say or do if she went to report that information. And I was like, well, first off, the atmosphere of that job had to be to the point where that man was being disrespected, or he felt he was being disrespected. So it's a big possibility that she could have came to that job to tell people that stuff, and they would have underestimated the threat. Because if he was being disrespected to a point, they underestimated him. So they probably didn't assume he would be the type of person that would come and do something like that. You see that happen all the time at the workplace. You've seen it since you were young. People get underestimated and get picked on until they have to prove I'm not the one. And sometimes people go overboard because those same people that's taking that abuse, they have something to lose. I don't want to lose my job. This is my livelihood. I got to put up with it, because we say all the time, and we know that people go through things on the job. And so with thinking about how people can underestimate a threat, I think about how before 9/11, the FBI had a guy that was working and got wind of the hijackers learning to fly the planes, but not learning to land them. And so what he did, he went back to his authorities, his superiors. I hate using that word. He went back to his superiors and told them, hey, man, something ain't right. These Middle Eastern guys over here flying planes, and they only want to learn to fly, but they don't want to land them. And I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together and put logic with that learning to fly but not learning to land thing. And there's only one thing that seems like that would make sense for them to do. Oh, no big deal. It's okay.
They paying the money.
No threats.
Yeah, they paying the money to learn. Yeah, they paying the money to learn. Keep teaching.
So exactly. So they underestimated the threat, and that's what it is. A lot of times when people are being disrespected or they are being pushed in the corner to where they are mentally losing it, like Timothy McVeigh. People don't understand, hey, you're underestimating these people in the first place. So it's a good possibility that if you did try to warn them, it would take months of investigation, because anytime something is foiled, Anytime somebody has a terrorist plot that is forward, think about how long the investigation goes on and how much they have to sit back and just let play out before they go and interrupt it. They might interrupt it at the last minute, but they don't get a chance to do that all the time. So that's in big cases and small cases. The threat 9 times out of 10 is underestimated, so the warning isn't respected.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so many different layers, and we ain't got to our topic for the day yet, man. We ain't got to our topic because this right here is so many layers to this right here, man. We have a lot to deal with. But we have Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Though.
Good morning, family. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Toya, did you hear about the situation that happened yesterday in San Jose? The mass shooting?
I think so, but I was tired. But I feel like I heard about it in I don't remember, but I feel like I heard about it. Where was it?
In San Jose, California.
Right, but it was at a specific type of place, right?
Yeah, it was at a like a MARTA here. It was a transit place.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. I think just as I was closing my eyes last night, I saw that scroll up on my timeline, but the Sandman had me already.
he had already put his bid in. But my thing is this right here. 9 people died. One of them is the shooter. He said he killed himself. But Toya, how do we get past this, man? It's like every other so often, there's a mass shooting and people are just killing each other in what's supposed to be the greatest country, greatest free country in the world. What do we need to do? How do we get past this?
Right. Well, you know what? I'm a person that thinks behind the scenes, man. The activity that we notice here is not normal. Like I said yesterday, we should be thinking that these satellites are for our comfort. I believe that they are for some type of control, because that's what it's about with them. I believe that they are highly influencing some people to do certain things, and to test as the way it's always been, even when they brought slaves over here. I also said that after Trump, that there were going to be isolated incidents that some of the KKK and Proud Boys probably would want to do to get their word across. And I also even believe that international entities are involved, because there is a plan, there's something that they want to do, you know what I mean? And if they follow a proper protocol, they can scare us, they can talk us out of not having guns, so I believe that there's a device agenda behind some of the things that are going on. I believe that of them are influenced. And that a reaction that they're anticipating behind all of these shootings, I believe, to take away the power of the guns. You know what I mean? So, again, I believe that a lot of these incidents are influenced and highly encouraged. I think that multiple entities are involved, like a type of mind control, to gain more control, and the other entity of, like I said, the KKK wanting to get things back in order, Proud Boys and things of that nature. I believe that those are multiple things that are going on that they will not tell, they cannot tell. When they investigate, they're not going to be honest about the truth, because they never are. But I think there's a couple of reasons why these things are happening, and I really don't know. I don't have any suggestions on how we're going to get away from it, because I think a majority of those things are outside of regular, ordinary citizens' control. I believe this is way deeper than what we see, and I think it's a huge mental issue that they're using with some kind of, device. That's all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we're going to get away from it.
Wow, and there's so many different, so much going on. Donald Toussaint, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? Donald Toussaint.
I'll be trying to hang with you, man, but I got to multitask.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then that mute button will mess you up too. No, man, I listen, and we don't have no answer. I mean, really, if we try to find one, you just don't. What I try not to do, personally, I try not to be that guy. Either to go out acting, to, like I told you, like I got it all together. Because who knows what will cause a person to snap?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we got to treat people like that. Even if you don't like them, don't mistreat them.
Yeah.
Because your day might be coming. Because this is the society we live in. Life is not priceless like it used to be. You're expendable.
Yeah.
You can be replaced. And people, because they are going through so many things, this is the most stressful period of time that I've ever seen. People, you go to a Burger King. Let me use it for example. I'm just leave this alone. You think that little kid or that cashier just don't want to do their job. You ought to go home. No, they stressed out because their co-workers that used to come to work, they're not there. So they have to take it up the slack. And then they working with somebody else that don't want to work. They just there to make a little change.
Yeah.
Or to hide what they really doing. Ask them. Man, this job don't mean nothing to me. And they'll say that out of their mouth.
Yeah.
They have some people say, man, they pay me to come to work. Really? And I've heard somebody say that. They pay me to come to work. Because some corporations, that especially if they're furnished by the government, I might make 30 whatever an hour, but the government give them $125.
Yeah.
Just for me to show up for work. They count numbers. The government, you get a government contract, you say, I need this many people to accomplish this job, and I need to be able to work this many hours to get this done.
Yeah.
So the government says, in a lump sum, here you go. They may go to the hiring facility and they say, okay, we're gonna start you out at $18 an hour. Well, what you doing with the other $100 and whatever, $3?
Yeah.
Whatever. I can't add, but you know. Hey,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the person that is aware of that, they say they jipping me anyway. They shortchanging me. So he comes to work with an attitude. And here you go, because you think you missed the ear. You talk to him every day. Crazy. And you do that for years and years and years. And one day, because he got problems at home, and you mistreating him on the job, and you shortchanging him, and he might have some health problems, you act a fool one day, and there you go.
Yep.
Now, how do you feel?
History. Postal.
Yep.
Exactly.
You don't have to be crazy, but he can go crazy.
It don't take long. It's a short trip. It's a long walk on a short plank. And that's how it ends up, a long walk on a short plank. Let's get to our topic, y'all. I want to get to our topic. And Toya with a T, I'm going to start this thing off with you. Boy, I don't know what I'm about to do, but Lord, how much I'm going to start off with you, Toya with a T. You ready?
I don't know. I think I'm ready.
Our topic today is this right here. Who do you trust?
Oh, yeah. See how you do? Nobody, baby, but the Lord. I'm over it. Let me tell you something. Old people say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Well, it seems like everybody enemies. The people that cross you out is your friends. The people that cross you out be the people that know you, know everything about you, know how to do you. And I think back to my father saying, strangers don't rob you, your friends rob you. Somebody who know what you got rob you. Strangers not gonna come rob you because they don't know what you got. They don't know if you got a gun, you got a dick.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we sit up here, we talking about, oh, well, did my friend, did my dad. No, they some thieves sitting around plotting and planning, waiting to get you whenever they can or to trap you up whenever they can. And here's another thing, too, for us independent Black women that got to do everything ourselves. We so busy doing everything ourselves, being strong and independent, we not looking around in the smoke screen and then going around doing everything. And we not noticing people are watching us, waiting for us to fail. So when things happen, there are traps and there are setups that people say, oh, do you have this, that, and the third? And they know that you're always doing something. If they're not helping your cause, they're hurting your cause. And what I'm also learning, what I just learned, just because they're helping your cause, I mean they're helping your cause for you. They may be helping them cause for themselves.
Wow.
So it's just on that trust thing right now. I'm in a place right now, honey, where I'm done. Trust nobody, help nobody. Let them do it on their own. You feel what I'm saying? I'm at the point where now, like, see, that's why I don't deal with white folks, and I'm just being straight up.
Wow. Leonard, who do you trust?
Trust God. That's who I trust. I trust people to do certain things. I'm not as gullible as a lot of people. So I don't entertain certain behaviors or characteristics. I don't even really want you around me if you're a certain way. And I'll let you know that. If you're a person that's always running your mouth, don't be saying nothing worthwhile, I'm not going to be around you too long.
Wait, you say you talking a lot. Donald had a show talking, you ain't saying nothing. Donald had a show a little while ago.
It's just something. If you always got the wrong answer, I don't fool with you. I don't fool with you. I'm not entertained. I don't like people that always got to be the center of attention. I don't like people that just have certain behaviors that they just have to be seen. They have to get recognition. They have to feel like they're the prettiest in the room. Blah 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 blah. You know, it's just certain characteristics, certain people I just don't care for.
Yeah.
They're not my type of people. And you definitely don't become my friend. I mean, that's not even, I don't take friends unless I give you an application.
Yeah. And then you go, then you got to go through the process.
Bro, I'm telling you. Because one, there are people with certain behavior, and I've always taught it, we don't bring it up a lot anymore. The theory of sanctification. You must separate yourself from certain people. You cannot associate with everybody.
Yeah.
Because all the signs are there, like young men. If you hang around with a criminal, you're going to wind up one. If your best friends is criminals, guess what? That's why I don't have a whole bunch of friends like that. Because everybody I know that I thought would have been is a criminal has done time, and they have all those backgrounds. That's what they started doing when they were young. They pretty much laid it out for themselves. This is what I'm doing. This is how I get down. Okay, we can't hang out.
Yeah. Point blank.
So you have to be very selective.
Yeah.
You have to be very selective. And women need to learn. Just because somebody say you pretty don't mean they mean you're no good. I mean, I don't know where that came from, that somebody can tell y'all pretty and act like they like y'all more than they like everybody else, and now y'all a fool for them. Y'all got to be careful of that.
Exactly. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey guys, it's me. This is Sideria.
Okay, Sideria. Okay.
I said I would call in, and I went into the doctor's office, so I didn't want to be on the panel and in the doctor.
Yeah, I got you. Let me ask you the question, sis. Who do you trust? And there's a long pause.
Well, for me, I primarily trust God. I trust God for all things, even people. See, I trust God for people. I don't trust people, but I trust God to guide me and lead me to the type of people that I need to be intertwined with. So that's where my trust lies. And sometimes I waver in that trust because we are creatures of habit and we love to be able to see with our physical eyes. So sometimes it's difficult to consistently keep your trust in God, and we can fall prey to trusting a person if they appear to be trustworthy. But at some time, because of our humanness, everybody's going to have a fallacy somewhere down the road. And if you have your trust in that person and you're not, you don't have the expectation of the fallacy where you can accept when that person, quote unquote, fails themselves. We take it as they failed us, but they've actually failed themselves. They haven't been able to keep their word to themselves. And we just happen to be in the victimized by that inability. So over the years, I learned to truly trust God and to trust Him for the people that come in my life.
That's good. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Who do you trust?
My wife and kids and Creator. They're watching that show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's good. That's good. Y'all watch this now. Y'all watch this. Donald Tucson.
Yes, sir.
Who do you trust?
I don't trust nobody.
I knew he was gonna go. I already knew.
Yeah. No, but I really don't. And people say, well, you gotta trust somebody. No, I don't. I don't have to. No, I don't. But the point was made just now that you have to trust God for people because people are not trustworthy. He'll take care. When she says that, the first thing I thought about that makes sense because it says, "If God be for you, who can be against you?"
Come on.
So I don't worry about manipulators, people that's trying to stab, and I don't worry about that. I keep the word hater out of my vocabulary. Don't worry about that. Why? Because I'm gonna do my own thing anyway. There are people that actually go around doing certain things. We already know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I keep my eye on my friends. But I got my own agenda. And I try not to manipulate people. And here's another thing. You reap what you sow. You can call it karma or whatever you want to. So I try to. And I'm not perfect. I got issues like everybody else. Some of them are just actually, I'm mad at myself. But I try not to undermine nor burn bridges or manipulate folks because that kind of thing comes back to you. So if I do well, I won't have to worry about sin lying at the door.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? If you just, my old pastor used to say, just do right, and right will follow you. The rest of it, it's gonna take care of itself. Because regardless to a person, he don't have to be religious. He don't have to do certain things that people say you have to do. All he has to do is have the right kind of demeanor or spirit or kindness about himself. And most of the time, because you even watch them people because you think them type of people, the meekness is a weakness. No. The worst person you could rile up is a quiet person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't worry about the wagon. What you call that? Empty wagons make the most noise. But when you really come down to it, and you ask me, and I give you a quick answer, I don't trust nobody. Trust is for God.
I'm gonna tell you something. Growing up in Greensboro, being I'm not gonna say who. Me and somebody that's real close to me was out and hanging out and everything, and it was a confrontation that was about to happen, and it was 3 or 4 people that was actually gonna jump on us. It's over some girls. Y'all know how the thing go, and one of them was doing a lot of talking, yada 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 yada. And me, I almost said, "Oh Lord," I almost said his name. Me and this fellow, we was looking at paying attention and everything, and one of them was doing a lot of talking. He said, man, that's the one we need. I said, nah. I said, no, don't worry about the one that's doing all the talking. I said, don't worry about him. I said, he ain't gonna do too much. I said, you see the one in the back back there that's just watching. Ain't saying that he's just watching and like he ain't paying attention, but that's the one right there. That's the one right there that we need to get him. Because that's the one that's gonna cause the damage right there. When the damage gonna be caused, Rico, that mouthpiece ain't gonna do nothing. That mouthpiece just a stirrer. He just a stirrer that's in the cup. That's all he's just a stirrer.
Yeah, most times, you know, and that's what you call a silent killer.
Yeah,
you know, somebody that sits back and they ain't gonna do a whole lot of talking. They just gonna wait for the opportunity to do what they need to do and go on about their business. And you know, that's really what you want in the heat of battle. Sometimes you want somebody that's gonna be about that action and not about the talk. You know, but when you ask the question, who do I trust? I don't trust not one single living human being. I'm suspicious of everybody.
Yeah.
What I do trust is what you prove to me to be true after you prove it to me. After that, your next job is to prove the next one to me. If you make a promise. Now, you don't have to prove anything to me, but at the same time, you know, if you say that you are a certain way about yourself and I'm supposed to believe this, I'm not just going to believe it. There's only one thing that I trust, and that's the supreme intelligent designer of all of this. That supreme intelligent designer that has been a safety net for me when I was falling. I was like, you know what? That was miraculous. Or when I got a warning ahead of time, you know what, Rico, just stay home. Don't go. And then you don't go. And you find out the people you were supposed to went with or where you were supposed to go, what happened. Man, I felt that. I missed the Olympic Park bombing in Centennial Park. I had made up my mind. I was going to take my sons to them and expose them to a multicultural environment of people around the world, a lifetime experience. But something told me not to go that day. I took my vacation day and everything. I was coming to Centennial Park. And as a matter of fact, my father, it was a guy that used to play in a band with my father, was playing over there earlier that day. So I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to go over here and check Travis out. Something told me not to go. Something just told me, you know what? Your son's so young, they ain't gonna remember all these different people speaking these different languages, man. You're doing too much. Nice idea, good idea, you know what I'm saying? It came from a good place, but this don't make too much sense. It would make more sense for you to just stay home. And then all of a sudden that night, I saw all the activity, and I was like, you know what? I was spared. So I trust that supreme intelligent designer that can talk to me and do things for me miraculously that I can't do nothing about. But as for the man go or a woman, man, they can prove to me to be right one time, and it still won't mean I'm gonna trust and believe them the next time. You are always in the process of proving to me that you don't have an ulterior motive.
And Rico, truth of the matter, sometimes, and what people don't realize, people set you up, man. They'll do something good like that and just to gain that trust. Gain that trust.
Don't they feed pigs? Don't they feed pigs to gut them?
Yeah, exactly. Toy, you want to talk to me, sis?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, listen, no new friends, right? Now, let's think about it. Even in, let's think about training day, police officers, undercover, right? What do? They try to infiltrate whatever team by befriending, building up trust purposely. Like, we see these things on the movies, and we take them for granted when they're outside. But that's ultimately what people do. You know what I mean? And ultimately, people do this with the intention. All of us do it, whether it's girlfriends, boyfriends. Even when you apply for a job, we try to do our best behavior and build up trust so that way we can get hired for the position, and then we go in to do whatever it is that we want to do. And some things are not with good intent. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, when it comes to this trust, you have to be very careful who's trying to befriend you, why they're working so hard to gain your trust, why they're working so hard to do certain things, and then maybe we'll be able to notice some of the snake activity that's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially in this Christian world, right? And this is why I hold God accountable for God's duties, and I hold humans accountable for human duties. Because individuals will walk around here and open up their mouth, the little demons, talking about God this and God that, knowing that there's an issue with Christianity about trust. So now these demons are hopping Christian clothes and they come around to cause more mass confusion, talking about our God, our Father, our this, our that. But at the end of the day, behind their back, they're the sneakiest, evilest, devilish people. But the devil knows the word of God, uses the word of God too, trying to trick us all the time, just like he did with Jesus. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, no new friends, man. You know, when it comes to the Satan being the master of deception, he's going to aim for trust. He's going to aim to build it up. And this is the part to where you need to only trust in God, man, because you really need to keep your eyes open what happened. The things that people get murdered behind having people they can't trust. You understand what I'm saying? They use that to murder, kill, knock people off and things of that nature, man. So I'm finally noticing, and it's crazy because I'm on my God walk, that people can't be trusted. And I would fight to trust people. Oh, yeah, you can trust people. Oh, no, you should give them a chance. Oh, you never know who needs you. Well, this is why when people need you, you don't get no help because the demons and devils is running around messing up the game and making our names look real bad, man. But yeah, no new friends, no new friends.
Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Why is it hard to trust? That mute button got you. That mute button got you, Donna. I'm going to come back to you. That mute button got you. Rico, why is it hard to trust people, man?
Because we live in a dog-eat-dog world. We live in a world where people are consumed by materialism and superficialism, and they want to obtain the things that they want to consume the most. I mean, people, we live in a convenient society. People want everything fast. They want the most material things you could think of, and that's what their value systems are. So now when you're told that you live in a dog-eat-dog world, and then your status or your success is based off of material possessions or gains, then yeah, people start getting snaky. They start finding ways to be opportunistic. See, that's what the problem comes in at, is that sometimes people can realize your value, but they only realize how valuable you can be to them and their agenda and where they're trying to get. And then sometimes, you know, it behooves them, so they think, to sabotage other people that's close to that successful person, that asset that they need. They'll sabotage and they'll manipulate the circle so other people won't be around them to recognize that, hey, they're trying too hard. They're trying to be your right hand man and gain your trust so they can stab you in the back. Like I said, they're trying to stuff the pig so they could gut them at 4th of July. And some people don't do that. You know, when I was in my hustling days, that was one thing that I never did fall a victim to. But it was so many people from my hometown used to do it, and I used to laugh, man, because they would come over there to Atlanta and they would meet random guys in Perry Homes and all these different places that had that package. And they would hook them up, man. They would tell them, look, I got these double ups. So these boys would go over there, man, and they would be getting those deals. And I tell them, I'm like, look, man, this is what they're doing. And this has been going on for 20 years because I had a cousin go through this same situation a few years ago, and he didn't want to listen because he considered me as old. I said, man, this is what they're going to do. These boys going to give you the best price possible. They're going to cut you the sweetest deal to keep you coming back. And as soon as you come up, you done went from 1 kilo to 5, they're going to knock your head off.
Yep.
No, that's my boy. That's my boy. That black, my boy. My boy Corey. My boy Black. I'm like, man, you don't know these dudes, man. It's money. And so then I told somebody else that used to be on this show the same thing when they were playing the victim. Everybody is crooked over here. Everybody's trying to manipulate me. And I said, look, you got to be careful. You are in a city where everybody feels like they can achieve their dream. That means they are looking for an opportunity to become great. And if they're looking for an opportunity to become great, then you might be the way through that opportunity. Therefore, you become an opportunity or an asset. So you living in a city when you come to Atlanta that everybody is trying to make it. Everybody's trying to hustle. They're trying to survive. So everybody you come in contact with, whether it's in the entertainment industry, money industry, somebody looking for another way that you can also benefit them. Nobody's just coming to you saying, hey, you know what? I like your character. I like your charisma. I want to make you a rich man, and I don't get nothing out of it. Somebody always trying to get something out of it. And 9 times out of 10, they try to get more out of it than you. So, you know, I was actually deceived in telling this person this information, even though they did keep taking losses. That was their whole agenda, was to divide and conquer and move on to the next. Can I get into acting? Can I get into nonprofits? Can I save prisoners? Ooh, can I just be the favorite? Can everybody just love me, hate? And in the process, y'all don't trust them. Don't trust them. They are bad people. So, I mean, you know, people are opportunistic. Everybody, most people do have an agenda. Some people's agendas are sincere and kind and harmless. And then some people have harmful agendas. And when those opportunistic people that have harmful agendas come around, which mainly 9 out of 10 are selfish, self-motivated, then yeah, you have to be weary of that. You know, you have to keep your eyes open and hope that you don't fall weak or fall victim to kindness, your own kindness of receiving this person that you consider your friend and that you can trust. So I don't trust anybody at all.
Good deal. Badger, what do you say to that, Badger? Who do you trust and why are people so hard to trust?
I mean, with the experiences I have, most people are judgmental or assume things that aren't accurate. Or most of my run-ins with people are people that lied for personal gain or wanting to use somebody for physical labor, mental labor. Like, hey, I'll be your friend. Do you mind doing this schoolwork for me? Or, you know, things like that. So it's actually really hard for me to trust people.
Just trying to use you, basically.
Because that's all I'm used to is being used. That's why I said, you know, my wife and kids and creator, because creator's always kept me safe through all the stuff I've lived through. And my wife and kids, kids are unconditional love, and I've tried to chase my wife off because I didn't think I deserved her, and she never went anywhere. So
came close. Just came. You trying to run off, and she coming closer.
Pretty much.
Yeah. There you go. That's how you know you got the right one.
Well, I wouldn't recommend everyone do it. That was my trauma brain talking more than anything.
I got you. Leonard, we're talking about who do you trust, but let's flip a page for a second. There was once a time, Leonard, where somebody could tell you they're gonna do something, and their word, they didn't have to do no contract, they didn't have to do all this stuff. Their word meant something. If they say I'm gonna do this for you, they have to be close to dead to not do it, because they say I'm gonna do it for you. You know, don't you say, yo, you need me to do that? Okay, I got you. Don't worry about it, and you ain't got to worry about it no more. Leonard, how have that changed so much? Leonard, you there?
Sometimes it's just based on the relationship that people have with one another. Like, say, for instance, I knew when I moved to this big city that there was a bunch of people that are more likely to run game on you than anything. So I'm not a gullible person.
Yeah.
So when it comes to trusting people, that's not a big deal to me, trusting people. I can trust you just about as much as I trust everybody else. As we get to know each other more and you gain credit and I know that you keep your word, I trust you to keep your word if you keep it.
Yeah. And
I just don't.
Let me say this, Leonard.
Like, you know, I'm dealing with someone right now that they'll call and say, yeah, man, I'm going to do this. Okay. Sure you are.
Yeah.
I know you're not, because you too many instances where you have not kept your word. So that's why I don't trust you, because you have proven that you don't keep your word.
Leonard, let me say this real quickly, Leonard. And it just you and I, you know, you and I's relationship. If there's ever a situation, and it goes both ways. I'm gonna say it like this: if you and I have a conversation, and you say, Raheem, don't worry about it, I take care of it. I ain't gotta worry about it. I know it's done. I know it's done. You know, like I said, because we built that relationship. I trust you in that fact. If you say you're gonna do it, Man, we ain't got to worry about that. Leonard, he gonna take care of it. But I'm gonna tell you something. If Leonard say, man, I ain't gonna do it. Don't look for it to get done.
Don't worry about it. Don't even look for it.
You better go
Don't
find somebody else.
Don't even think you can ask me 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 different ways. If I ain't doing it, I ain't doing it, and I tell you I ain't doing it.
Because and Leonard, you know, I hope you know this about me. If I ask you something like that, and you say, Raheem, I'm not gonna be able to do that, I ain't gonna ask you no more.
Exactly.
I don't even ask no more.
Where you say, well, look, I thought we was going. That's the problem. You thought about it. What you thought ain't my concern. It's not on my calendar that I should be with you today.
Yeah. Yeah. And so and that's how it is. It's certain people. And I hope people look at me the same way, because if I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. If I can't for whatever reason, I'm gonna look at here, man. I'm gonna make a phone call or try to catch up with you. Look at here, man. This has happened. This. I'm not gonna be able to do it, man. I'm gonna at least acknowledge.
These are people you should be friendly with.
Yeah. Exactly.
But some people, I thought they close friends, people that don't just mess them over, they can't trust them. Why you calling them friends? My mother, there was a thing, if you could think about somebody and what song would think of a loved one or whatever. And I remember my mother always singing, Standing on the Promises. Or her other go-to was, What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Come on.
That's about it. I'm going to stand on these. I can live with y'all and everything, but I'm going to stand on these promises of God and Jesus is my friend.
Absolutely. and that's what it is. And that's just what it is. Toy, you want to talk to me, sis? What's on your heart? People were used to mean something.
Used to. Our values and more the time is more than her. Let me tell you something. Half of us don't care about ourselves no more. And we don't care about ourselves. We too ain't don't care about nobody else. But absolutely, the world is just, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We just don't care anymore. And it's the people. This goes back to yesterday, the adults that run the world. The people who are in charge, it's not the kids. And that was out of control. We're all a mess. The kids are too much. The millennials are too much. And the adults are even crazier. The adults is going around doing these mass shootings, not the kids.
Yeah.
But you do have some issues going on with the kids where we got things, especially in our communities. But the Caucasian adults are the ones going around doing mass shootings. They got issues with everybody. But you want to talk about our community when I'm just going to go ahead and shoot a Bobo house because Bobo's a problem. I'm not going to go to the mall and shoot up a whole bunch of random people, right? But again, all these different things that we're going to, we don't care anymore. But it starts with you. And anybody can take that you and put it anywhere. It starts with you. You know what I'm saying? Or it starts with me. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we have to hold people accountable. Let me tell you one of the biggest things that I regret, right? If someone comes talk to me about anything, anybody, I'm not going to normally travel it, take it, and drop it off like a rat. But I really wish that what I've done now is stop trying to be so, classified, right? Classified information. You're going to go just, no. From this point on, truth is being told everywhere, every hour period. If it don't look right, it's going to get blown out the water because the world can only become this detrimental is when we're not being honest. When we don't hold them accountable.
Yep.
When we want to, don't tell this, that, and the third. You my friend, don't tell this, that, that. Now, well, you my friend, I'm telling whatever I want to. Don't come to me telling me don't tell, because if you tell me don't tell, that's when I'm really going to tell.
Exactly.
We hide too much and we keep it too quiet or whatever it is we're doing. And I think it's detrimental to where we are right now, man. Nobody cares about each other. We don't care about kids. We don't care about nothing but ourselves. And we're doing it by any means necessary. And I think that's going to cause a huge war in a couple of years.
Absolutely. Rico, you still with us, brother?
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I mean, she hitting it on the head, man. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. There are a few people I can trust. There are a few people I can depend on, depending on the situation or what it is I'm trying to depend on them for, what I need to trust them for. In some cases, you can depend on a person up until money becomes involved. Now, when money comes into play, Then they change up. I mean, I've seen some awesome people, man, some very great people. Sincere, kind, the greatest people you could think of. But when it comes to money, they will cut your head off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a Bernie Madoff type of person. I mean, and they all wholesome. I mean, but just think about it. Think about how many Catholic priests. I mean, I actually was going to bring this up yesterday. Think about how many Catholic priests have been convicted for taking advantage of young boys, raping nuns and abortions at the monasteries that we talk about. I remember looking at Oprah one time, and there was these two twin white Caucasian. They may have been Latino, Caucasian males. They were altar boys, and both of them had been repeatedly abused and molested by several pastors, and they kept it so secret that they didn't even realize each other had been going through the same thing. That's how much. Now these are twins. You know, normally twins tell each other everything. Sometimes they can feel it. These guys kept that secret from each other, not knowing that the other one was being molested and taken advantage of too. And the parents trusted them. They didn't even tell the parents. That was too much trust. Why? Because he was of the cloth.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me an image or a position or a title or just certain words can make people trust you? But like I said, words ain't nothing but sound that come out your mouth. And a position ain't nothing but a title or a position. That's all it is. It still doesn't dictate the honor or the character or integrity of a person. So you got to earn that to me. Like Leonard said, you have chances and chances and chances over and over again to say that you want to do something and then stand on it. You have chances to prove the type of integrity you have when you say you can do something and then you can, and then you call and say, hey, my bad, man, I ain't gonna be able to do this. Something came up. Maybe even if you just had a change of heart, man, I don't feel comfortable. But you have so many people that want to address that, people that will owe you money and tell you I'll come and see you Thursday, and then Thursday they realize, wait a minute, I ain't gonna have enough money to pay them back. And they will rather avoid you than call you and say, hey man, can you give me another week? Matter of fact, I was more extended than I thought. Maybe I have to just give you partial payments. Just work with me. You know, just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? We always say let's keep it 100, but people do not do that because they want to save image. They want to do what they want to do. And then sometimes they just, I'm gonna tell you, to me, it's mentally ill or dysfunctional to not even understand that you can at least call this person and say, hey man, I ain't gonna make it. But I mean, you a grown person, they ain't gonna whoop you. But it's shame. You know what shame will do? Shame will make grown people do some stuff that you know they know better than to do.
Exactly. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? 816 area code.
K with the E.
Oh, okay. She found that mute button. Lord, my Jesus. Okay, I got a question for you. Okay, who do you trust? And there's
you know
what?
Yes. I'm be honest with you. I literally trust everyone until they give me a reason to not trust them. I give everybody a chance, literally. I'll trust you. You know, your word, my mama taught me your word is your bond. Let me see how close your bond is. Let me see if your bond stick or you can put some thinner in it. So just depends. If you want a person to trust you, I'll trust you. I'll give you an opportunity. Like my mama said, you can tear your own drawers.
Do you wow, that's an old saying. They ain't heard it. She stopped me in my track with that one. But listen, do you think can that put you in a situation where you can get burned more often just by trusting though?
Nah, they burning themselves. A person that trusts in God, you don't worry about nobody burning you. They burning themselves. Because first of all, God knows. So I can honestly say I haven't been burnt like that. Like just little burnt like that, because once you burn me once, you can't burn me twice. You burn me once, it's on you. You burn me twice, it's on me. You burn me 3 times, I'm a fool. And I'm not going to be nobody's fool. My mama taught us that. That's an old saying too. So no, you just get one try with me for real. That second try, people that get 2 tries is normally family.
Okay. Okay.
They get 2 tries, but just somebody I just know and I'm helping you, you get 1 try, like literally. And sometimes I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I gave this person the benefit of the doubt after I was told by my daughter. I still gave this person the benefit of the doubt. Like my daughter, watch her steal from her mama. Mama, if you don't get out here and deal with your little stealing friend, I was like, girl, that's free stuff. And herself, I said she damaging the friendship and don't even realize it. Because at the end of the day, you are my daughter.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
You ain't got to lie to me. So I got somebody burnt themselves real quick. Didn't take long, but they lost a good friendship. Because I'm the type, go, I got money, I'm going to pay for it. They say, where you get your money from? I said, I have an unlimited income from God. That's what I tell people.
Wow.
So come on, let's go. So they just missed out on a good friendship. That's all. That's God tells us, remove this person because they're going to be using you. Your heart is like heart of gold. They're going to use you. They ain't going to look at it like, oh, she's a good friend. They're going to look at it like using you. Anytime somebody will steal free products that was given to y'all, you know that's not a friend.
Exactly. Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I think, those, I think we talked about before, I talk about boundaries a lot. And I just like the way Miss K just put it, because that's kind of what it's like. Prove yourself. Like she said before, people that loan money and don't pay it back, and she said she got unlimited income. I like that. Don't even worry about it. Because sometimes, you know what, I've told people, even about money that I've loaned people or whatever, if it only cost me this much money to get you to never speak to me again and leave me alone, it was well worth it.
But no, and understand. I tell people this all the time. You borrow money from me or something like that. If you ask me to give it to you and I give it to you, that's okay. I don't expect it back. If you ask me, will you loan me, blah, 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 blah. Now, loan me, you're gonna give it back to me. And if for whatever reason you don't, know that you can't come back or your credit bad now. Now you got bad credit. Your credit is bad.
Right.
You got bad credit, brother. Huh? Your credit score too low. I can't loan you nothing. Your credit score too low.
Exactly. Exactly. And those are the types of things that you learn as you go.
Yeah.
Because I'm real cautious. And one thing about being born and raised where I was at, you had to learn how to handle yourself. Because if you don't, somebody else will handle you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got little boys out here taking bids for grown men. For grown men. Ruining their lives for grown men. Why would you let a little grown man tell you it's better for you to be locked up than him? You's a fool.
Be like Bernie Mac. Judge, I tried to call you, but your line was busy.
So we have to understand that's like, some people can move into an apartment complex. This is how you pick your friend. You see a bunch of guys over there drinking beers and smoking weed.
Wow.
Now all of a sudden you over there drinking beers and smoking weed. Then next thing you know, you didn't know that the boy that you was drinking and smoking weed with, he had already robbed a store or something like that. And then all y'all got rolled down on.
Wow.
I had to learn how to distance myself from certain behaviors and certain people as a young boy. So it wasn't worth it to dress like you and be in your little club. Because y'all wasn't about doing nothing positive. So why I want to be over there with you?
Come on, man. We're ready to go snatch this old woman pocketbook. What?
Come on, man.
You done lost your mind, bro. Yeah, look at you.
If I'm snatching pocketbooks, I'm on my own. I ain't working with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I got to split the money. What? No.
I just don't. I avoid friends of people that want you to do wrong with.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
avoid those types of people.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I was sitting here thinking about the topic, and one thing I was wanting to ask or point out is the Santa Claus and things of that nature. How many people lie to their kids about saying that person exists? Or would it be being, entity? I'm trying to remember how that works. um, it thinking about those things are very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Badge.
Like with us at our house, we teach what Christmas is about, or Hanukkah and different things like that. But we don't lie to them about the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus.
Make believe.
Those imaginary things.
Mm-hmm.
We also talk about, we also share with them about how some people view the holidays and those Easter baskets, and how a lot of people are more material minded. They're more worried about the presents than actually spending time together as a family. And it's always interesting to hear my kids' responses, because they're like, why would they want to do that? That's rude. And it's always made me wonder how much or how in touch they are. And how much kids learn from their parents about lying and stealing and how to live.
I always been a one, and just being a little transparent with y'all, man. Look at here. I bought you, me and your mama bought you them gifts. Like, ain't nobody came in here and hardly we don't work to make this money to buy them gifts. You gonna say somebody came down a chimney and gave it to you? No, they didn't. Man, your mama went to the store and here go the receipts right here. It told you with a T. I ain't got no sense. What's on your heart, sis?
Oh, I ain't got nothing either. I wish you would say somebody else did something that I did. Honey, boy, listen, I was talking to a baby the other day, and he was about 7. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's Santa Claus." And I was like, "Yeah, hey, you want to go outside?" I don't know what your mama and daddy telling you, honey, but I rebuke Santa Claus. Santa Claus ain't help me flip near burgers. I done went out here and scuffled all year long to buy you the best of the best, and I'm gonna give that credit to Santa Claus. No, I don't think of I don't do lies. But see, these are the things that we do to keep our kids satisfied, and you a liar. You know how many old people to this day still mad about the fact when they found out it wasn't no Santa Claus? What? I ain't gonna tell you no lie, honey. The major underlying issue on why black folks don't trust is because of lies about Santa Claus and Easter bunnies, honey. And here they walking around here, sitting up here acting like somebody's dropping off some gifts, and here you come 12. Well, there ain't no Santa Claus. People been crushed, man. There's some of the stories I hear, people 50 plus, when they heard it wasn't no Santa Claus, it devastated them. But more than that, to find out that your mama or daddy lied to you. That's your rock. Your mother and daddy is your God, basically, if you're not teaching them about the Most High. And you telling me to do all these things and you lied to me about something so near and dear and sweet and great like a Santa Claus? No, that's why we got issues, man. Be truthful, man. Stop using the worldly stuff. Like you say, be of the world, be in the world, but not of the world. Lies is of the world. Why we practicing telling our kids lies and we wondering why they're growing up to manipulate and rip people off? Why they stealing people money and lying, saying they're gonna give them or rent them or sell them something and take money to run off with it because they're used to not getting any weight. Oh, Santa Claus ain't good. I'm not gonna get what I want without Santa Claus. Oh, I'm just gonna be a terror. And we don't know what we doing to people when they're young, and we're infiltrating their minds like that. So at the end of the day, these trust issues that we so-called have and these conversations that we're having, you'll be surprised the little underlying issues that help cause that, such as trust from the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. You know what I mean? But no, that's good conversation, man. We need to have these conversations so we can go ahead and get to the truth, because there's too many generational lies we've been spreading.
Exactly. K with the E, talk to me, sis. What's on your heart? Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Ain't no Santa Claus coming to town. Badger said, how many people done lied to their kids? Tell Badger, I think everybody on this call right now probably done been lied to about that Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, because that's what they knew. That's what they taught us that. And I guess they taught that to my mama and my grandma and them taught it to them. So they taught it to us. Then as times and technology changed, the truth started coming out that Christmas ain't no, it's just a little white lie. I said, wow. So I had to wake my kids up. When I got woke up, I woke them up. And I woke my grandkids up to the point they went back and told their mama. Like you said, how many adults was mad? My daughters and them was mad. Who would tell some kids this and tell some babies that and da 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 da? I said, they grandma, the same person that'll whoop them kids and whoop you too. I said, I got woke up, so I'm waking my grandbabies up and I'm waking y'all up, whether y'all want to be woke or not. I said, do you or do you not go out and buy your kids stuff 365 days a year? Or do you just wait for December the 24th? She said, no. I said, well, then Christmas is every day in this household, my family, because you go out and do that every day. Their birthday is special. You buy them something. You ask them what do they want. That's their birthday. They was born on this day. You gave birth to them. I said, and it's your birthday too, because you birthed a child on that day. So celebrate with your child. I celebrate with all my kids as if it's my birthday, because I birthed them. They wouldn't be here to celebrate if God didn't let me plant a seed in that birth. Because a lot of people didn't have birth and their kids didn't make it. I got a friend that ain't had a kid in her life. She's 61 years old. She ain't never had a kid. Never. And everybody be like, she gay. No, she's not. That's how God made her. He made her to not have not one kid. And she never had a kid.
Wow.
So, nah, we all been lied to. The problem is, do we continue to lie?
I tried this little thing quite a few years ago when kids was younger. It didn't go over too good. But I said, look, we're going to do the African thing. We're going to start this year. I started my birthday in January. So I said, we're going to start on my birthday. And on your birthday, you're not going to get gifts. You're going to give gifts. Boy, that thing didn't work out good at all, Rico. But that's how, but in certain traditions, you don't receive gifts on your birthday. You actually give gifts.
Yeah, they might do that. I can't speak on that. I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this though. This is the purpose in having communication and understanding, and just sometimes not thinking too much into stuff. Now I'm with y'all on the Christmas stuff. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we can, and then I'm on the Santa Claus thing. Unconsciously, what you are teaching children to do is to lie. You're teaching them to have an imagination, aka lie. Depending on how you want to interpret that, you can make it a good thing or a bad thing. But it gets to a point where we got to understand, as adults, we still like lies. Look at all the movies we might watch: Deep Blue, Star Trek, all these movies, and then everybody go back and repeat it. Friday, oh, like such and such said. Yeah, like in the movie such and such, we still doing it. So I look at it like this. I mean, like I'm honestly, I can't even believe Santa Claus was brought up, because if we gonna hold Santa Claus to such a high standard as being a lie to Easter Bunny, then what about Humpty Dumpty and Jack and Jill? What about the dog with the big red ball of Curious George? We all know Curious George wasn't real, but guess what they did? They gave us these fictional stories just to teach us to read. And as soon as we got older, we started realizing this stuff wasn't real, just like we realized Santa Claus wasn't real. So, sometimes people manipulate you just to get some good out of you, just to show you another way of going about things that might have been pretty cool, like being good. What about being a good child? So they put the Santa Claus thing out there for some people. And then as a child, you start getting older, you realize, wait a minute, man, ain't nobody flew around here on no reindeer. I ain't never seen a reindeer fly in my life, man. You see deer all the time. Why ain't Bambi flying? I mean, you just put two and two together. Frosty the Snowman ain't real. But we watch these cartoons. It's entertainment. And so that's when it's up to you to communicate to your child that the emphasis wasn't on Santa Claus. the emphasis was on being good all the time, year round. But see, we don't even look at that part of it because we want to talk about Santa Claus. I ain't lying no more. But man, they did that to us to make us be good. That was the whole agenda, to manipulate us into doing something good. So sometimes some things aren't as harmful as you try to make it seem. If somebody is traumatized because they didn't realize the Easter Bunny or the Santa Claus wasn't real, then they might be mentally ill. Something wrong with their medulla oblongata. Because if they traumatized by that, they got to be traumatized by Curious George not being a real with the man in the yellow hat. They got to be traumatized when they find out that Iron Man and the Avengers ain't real. That Superman and the Flash ain't real. They got to be traumatized.
Now, Rico, let me say something to you, man. Stop calling these people kids cray.
I ain't calling them crazy. I'm just saying that, you know, as you grow up and you get older, you start realizing that some of this stuff is fictional. That's why they got titles on it, fictional characters. So we taking entertainment and trying to flip it around, and we actually taking a little joy from these children, and at the same time, the tool that was used to manipulate children into minding their parents, being good, being kind to others, and having some honor is being missed, all because we want to be logical, and we still watching Avengers. Look, we still watching Avengers and playing video games.
Concentrate on the good.
Be logical about Santa Claus.
Exactly. So, Daria, welcome back, sis. What's on your heart? We're talking about the same topic. Who do we trust? But you know, we turned the page a couple times. I know you've been listening. So, what's on your heart? So, Daria cannot find her. She cannot.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm right in the middle of learning how to do something medically.
Okay.
So I'm just listening.
Okay. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart? Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, one of those things about a lot of, you know, the common thing now is to resist all of the things that you thought were true. And, you know, one of the things when I was raised, we didn't do those types of things. We were always taught the meaning of things and how they came about. So, you know, the whole Santa Claus, we never believed in that. So, you know, I don't have that issue. I don't think it's such a big deal at all, really. I mean, it didn't have really no significance to me. You know, we celebrated things. We had fun with family or whatever, but they never taught us in church that Santa Claus was real or anything like that. So, you know, when I hear people talk about it, I was like, wow, it's amazing to me because if you're a grown individual and you have a problem with Christmas, go get some therapy. Go get some counseling. Because, I mean, if you're that crazy, something really wrong with you. Reindeer don't, I mean, who believes reindeer fly with a little child, could fly with a little child?
Wow.
Some lies adults are not even believing simply because you're an adult.
Bless you.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't have no ill will towards holidays or anything because those aren't significant in my life at all. It's just a day that people celebrate something. You can go find out what they're celebrating it for if you want and participate. You know, but most Christian households, I don't know real Christians that teach their children about Santa Claus, and that's real. I don't know of too many because I know we didn't teach that. We celebrate Christmas, but they don't teach you that it's Santa Claus. You know, you learn that in school and all that kind of stuff. I guess you know for the holidays in school.
Yeah, that's what they teach. That's what they teach
but,
you a lot.
You know, any day I'm getting gifts. I don't care who brought it. You know, it don't matter to me.
Exactly. Toy, you want to say something?
Nope, sorry, my bad. I wasn't talking to you. I was cussing somebody else out.
Oh, okay. Lord Jesus. Well, we gonna move on by that. Now let me see y'all something. Goddess is 9:56. 9:56 now. We close in at 10 o'clock.
Early for tomorrow.
God, yeah, she's late for the day.
It's 8:56 here though.
What got us? The show goes off at 9:59 at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
I know. Oh well. It's bragging this
Oh, my
morning.
Lord, I say, God don't mind, I just missed it. I just missed it.
She said she just had to say something real quick.
Yeah. let me get this in. Wait a minute. But God is, we asking the question, who do you trust?
I trust the Creator, and I trust the divine within myself that God, that the Creator put inside me. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Lord, she coming here. Look how she coming. Look how she coming here, y'all. Look at this. Look at that. That's some fraganaga right there.
With 30 seconds left on the clock. What you talking about?
Exactly. And won't you explain what you talking about with 30 seconds left on the clock? Now, how you gonna explain something? God don't mind. Leonard, what we gonna do with it, Leonard? What are we gonna do with it, Leonard? And now Leonard the lost his. Oh, there you go.
I was laughing. You got to talk directly to me. What did you say?
What are we gonna do? God she late for the day, extremely late for the day.
I know. Well, first of all, let's get one thing straight. I can't do nothing with God.
Mm-hmm.
whenever she graces us with her presence,
mm-hmm.
I'm so happy.
Look here, but God Almighty.
Thank you, Leonard.
Yeah, look at that. Thank you, Leonard. Got 3 minutes left to the show. Thank you, Leonard. Lord, my Rico, talk to me, man. Help me understand, Rico.
Better late than never. you know, I like what Leonard said, man. I mean, you know, sometimes we have to understand. We talk about the way society is now. You know, where society stands, and we don't like where it is. You know, it's not looking to be in a good place. But then we have to understand, in the past, it may have been in a better place because people did certain things to mind screw you. I ain't saying the word that I want to use, but this is my common word. To manipulate you into doing right. Sometimes you got to be, because you just, especially if your programming is a dog-eat-dog world. Materialism, superficialism, me. I want to be famous. I want to be recognized. I want to be a favorite. I want to be the prettiest. I want everybody to love me. So sometimes you have to be manipulated into thinking about other people. Sometimes you got to be manipulated into doing good and caring about other people. Like they said in the Christmas Carol, so be good for goodness sake. That wasn't about Santa Claus. That was about you.
Yep, exactly.
Forget Santa Claus. Forget the reindeer. You be good for goodness sake. So you better watch out. You better not pout. You better not cry. I'm telling you why. Be good.
And I tell people this all the time. If they just deal with the lettering of I think me and Donald has spoken about this as well. But if you take the letters of Santa and the letters of Satan, they're the same letters, just rearranged differently. It's the same letter. It's the same letter.
Boogie. That's hilarious to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
And two is spelled 3 different ways.
Look here. Somebody said something to me on Facebook. Hold on. Somebody said somebody, not Facebook, but on TikTok. They were saying that and it had this whole thing going about where they say 10 plus 10 is 20, and 11 plus 11 is 22. So they're the same things. Yeah, that'll sink in a minute. You know, I did it when they said it to me. They say 10. They say 10 plus 10 is 20. 11 plus 11 is 22. So they're the same. You see, you get it. You get it. Yeah. No, that's TikTok.
That's one of your lame jokes.
That's straight TikTok, brother. I got that from TikTok. Toya with a T. We got to get out of here, man. Toya with a T. What's on your heart? 10 plus 10 is 20. 11 plus 11, they're the same. 11 plus 11 is 22. Huh?
You can tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself. You believe whatever you want to believe. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to go through that insanity. Hey, y'all, great show. I love y'all so much, man. Y'all always are on point. I thank the Lord for this great platform, but y'all just confused the hell out of me. I mean, I'm sorry. Y'all just confused me. Talking about 10 plus 10 is 20, 11 plus 11. That's just addition. But okay. Y'all have a good day, Raheem. Thank you so much. I love y'all.
He love you as well. Says, but 10 plus 10 is 20. 11 plus 11 is 22. Both of them 20, right?
That's addition.
Mathematics don't lie though, right? Look,
Depending on how you count, though, Raheem.
Man, stop it.
hey, Leonard.
Two, and 2. You got to think about the 2 they talking about. You see, that's smart. That's what I mean by communicating and understanding. You got to understand which way they are using the 2 and how you interpret it. Exactly. Because if you just listening, you ain't looking at the answer. It is 22.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people miss. And I looked at the comments on TikTok. You put all them comments. Leonard know about TikTok. Leonard love TikTok. You look at all them comments, man, and people just wasn't getting it. They was like, no, that's not true. And they were arguing it. They sitting there arguing. I was like, man, what are y'all doing? He playing with your mind right here.
I blame Raheem. I blame you, Raheem. For the very simple fact, I really didn't pay attention to TikTok at all until I believe you talked to me about it.
Exactly. Yep.
Man, and I've been hooked every since.
TikTok something else, man. They got a beautiful platform over there.
Crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got me on that mess too, man. I wasn't even messing with it, man. Now I'm on now.
Yep, exactly. Hey, it's entertaining, bro. It's definitely
the devil. We got to read the devil.
Keep in mind, just to let y'all know that TikTok is a game designed for there's something behind that. And TikTok is something that the FBI is looking at because it's a lot of stuff going on behind TikTok. So just letting y'all know that.
Okay. I sure didn't know, because I tell you, I get on that thing, man, and before you know it, an hour done gone by. Like, oh Lord, let me put this phone down. But listen.
And let's not act like you don't make TikTok videos.
I do.
I do with my kids and my kids.
I do.
I'm definitely on there dancing.
And go to Heaven Said Yes. My page is Heaven Said Yes on TikTok. Go check it out. I got some pretty interesting things on
I don't have, but I love TikTok.
Yeah, y'all check me out.
Right.
What's going on at 3:00 today, Leonard?
If you might get a chance to hit the show in its entirety, log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 Eastern today.
Absolutely. Toya,
hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Before we go, remember when you did the TikTok and you kept throwing the phone on the couch?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I had to keep watching it. What is this fool doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I still ain't got that yet, man. I called him and asked him, I said, man, did you make a mistake or what you was I still ain't figured that one out, man.
Don't try.
No, I'm just trying to drop the call. Just trying to drop the call. That's all. The call, the people won't hang up. I couldn't drop the call, man. I couldn't drop it. I'm just trying to drop. My daughter told me what it was. I'm just trying to drop the call.
You tried too hard on that one, man. That one I didn't get over that, man.
No, people love that one now. People love that one. People love it. Look here, man. I got so many comments, and people love that one.
It is okay. I ain't figuring out. I mean, I knew what you were doing, but I didn't get it.
Oh man.
Hey, Toya with the T, prayers out. Toya with the T.
That's what God has popped in for.
God came in the prayers out. She only came in for the prayer. Go ahead, pray us out, God. We don't want to disappoint you. If you came here for the prayer, we want to make sure you pray us out. So go ahead, preacher.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for uniting us together. Thank you for giving us the word that needed to be, which was TikTok. And Lord, please protect us as we play TikTok. And don't drop the calls when we do TikTok. Lord Heavenly Father, thank you again for making us, I guess you would say, smart today. We've learned some things that might not have known. We did not know that he plays TikTok. So thank you, Heavenly Father, for teaching us some things that we need to be taught. And Lord, I know that you know each and every last one of our hearts. And we are here to spread the word of God as well as spread the word of the world, of what's going on in the world, shall I say. So with that being said, we also have humor, just like you've placed humor within inside us. So Heavenly Father, thank you for the fraggle-knackling this morning. Amen.
Did she put that fraggle-knackle back in there? We go. Fraggle-knackle!
Yeah, she got it in there. She got it in there. I pray for our humor and everything, and we need some humor.
Exactly. We gotta have it. Gotta have it. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Same as always. Make people be blessed in life and find the light to help them walk a better path.
Good deal. Good deal. We're about to get out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast. Let me see. Let me get myself together here. There we go. There we're going to need to be right there for my extra. Good. Now, it is now. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:08. We're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now, we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. You'll have a great day. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might get some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Love you and take care of each other. Have a great day.